All I'm saying is that our analysis of the events of 9/11 are well documented, and our basis for our findings are well documented.
Okay, so I won't take up any more of your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
No, isn't it strange that they put Muslims in there to answer people's questions? Because they know goddamn well the people accusing the U.S. government of being complicit, so they put Arabs in there to answer the questions. Oh, we wouldn't lie about our own people. Wouldn't you think most Muslims would cooperate with you? If you're trying to get to the bottom of 9/11, they don't want to be blamed for that.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Yeah,
you know what I'm getting at? That's a neat fucking trick that they pull.
It's a report that is noteworthy for how comprehensive, how detailed, how thorough it is in explaining anything and everything except what happened to those towers. And it is for that reason that it is fraud and fraudulent. A document that we call NC Star 1, a document that was prepared under the auspices of the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST.
As far as I've known, when an aluminum structure like an airplane hits a steel and concrete structure,
yes,
there should be some sort of collision at the point of impact.
Yes.
And I was wondering how you guys accounted for the whole plane going all the way inside the building without crumpling or breaking or decelerating or anything like that.
Well, that is an interesting question. Of course, believe it or not, when I first started this type of analysis years ago, I had the image of a truck hitting a building, say.
Right.
In which case one thinks of the strength and stiffness of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
However, when an airplane flies at a speed of over 300 miles per hour, what hurts the structure is the energy that is transmitted. Let me give it to you this way. You see, we took 1 year to model the airplane very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And we made an analysis. And then later, we took 1 week essentially to put the weight of the airplane in a sausage skin, if I may use a metaphoric term.
Okay.
And use that instead of the airplane, and we got the same amount of damage. It's what causes the damage is the energy. It's the mass times the velocity squared.
Yeah, but my understanding is if there's no deceleration, there's no transfer of energy.
Oh, there is a deceleration, of course.
Oh, there is?
Of course.
Because I've clocked the plane flying the same through air as it does through the building.
Yes.
And many other people have did that too. So that would show that there's no deceleration because there's no slowing down of the plane, even upon contact.
Matter of fact, it is. You know, that was one of the things that actually gave me confidence. When we did the Pentagon structure, when the plane hits that heavy front of the Pentagon, it decelerates, and the rudder makes the fuselage buckle. You know, the rudder overturns.
Uh-huh.
And makes the fuselage buckle. So no, the parts of the plane that hit the columns do decelerate. But what you see in that animation is what's going through the columns.
Right, like the wings, like you say the Pentagon, like supposedly they say that the wings just vaporized, or the whole plane vaporized, the wings flipped back and it made that 16-foot hole.
So in my opinion, and I saw the damage in the Pentagon, the plane didn't vaporize. Our government took it away.
But you'd seen the damage to the Pentagon before the roof collapsed, right?
You know, before, the roof collapse occurred about 30 minutes after the impact.
Right, so what we were left before the roof collapse, there was like a hole.
Well, you can still see the hole, right? Except that it's not as wide as the wings.
No, because the wings, they say, would have folded back on impact. And but yet on the World Trade Center, through those steel reinforced columns in the floors, the wings seem to just seamlessly cut through steel and concrete, aluminum wings.
Well, there was no concrete there. And it wasn't the aluminum wings, it was the fuel, the fluid in the wings that did the cutting.
And
it's hard to believe, isn't it? But
well, yeah, it seems like almost like it's not real.
well, it is real.
And the other thing I was wondering about too was when you show the simulation and the wings go through and it makes the wing gashes in the building in the World Trade Center. The tail fins, the tail wings are higher than the wings, but yet in the simulation it shows the tail end lowering, so the tail fins can go inside where the other wing gashes were, when they should have been higher than the wing gashes in the front.
Well, they should be. We were not trying to prove that there was an airplane. That's not our business. We were trying to understand what brought the building down.
There's a lot of bluffing going on, Morgan, because as soon as you ask him how does he know, what makes it preposterous, why is he making such a claim, he can't answer. He can't defend himself, basically because the facts don't support him.
But they're definitely trying to cover it up.
If something is fact, I don't understand how people can have a difference of opinion on a fact.
Well, those guys are liars, Jeff. I mean, I've come to the conclusion that the only answer is these people are afraid to say anything, unless they're stupid.
I guess the people that say it can, there's a reason why they do it, like where they work or who they're affiliated with,
right,
what they have to lose if they were to say that, if they were to tell the truth, so they kind of have to lie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go along with what?
Go along to get along?
Yeah.
You know, it's career suicide. You basically might as well throw your funding out the door, tell your grad students you can't pay for them anymore, and forget being invited to talks or getting papers published. So, yeah, there may not be an official you're kicked out the door and fired, but you're really going to severely hamper a career. And all these professors, remember, they had to get PhDs, they had to put a lot of money on the line, they put years of work on this.
Speaking out could jeopardize their careers, their contracts, their budgets, their funding, their grants,
Yes. Of course, there at the beginning, for a while, I was believing that no camera caught the airplane, so they just made a simulation. But then, when the media kept showing this thing as the actual crash, well, right away, what could I do?
Isn't it amazing that in the mass media, there hasn't been one investigative report on 9/11?
Hey, if the mass media were doing its job here, we could have cleaned this all up years and years ago. It's because of the media, Joe. It's suffocating everything we have found out about 9/11. And it's completely disgusting. And it's stunning to me how they can attempt to defend the indefensible.
Exactly. Then, on the other hand, money plays a significant role here, so that what will be aired will very likely be highly consistent with corporate interests and highly inconsistent with any other. You're up against an apparatus in mass communications practices that basically allow those who control the content of what goes out over the airwaves, and particularly the television broadcast, to basically shape the perception of reality that a society has.
It's absolutely stunning. Not even the New York Times, which of course has not only been abysmal here, but abysmal on JFK as well. I mean, it's as though, they can cover in a responsible fashion everything right up to the most important issues. Right. And of course, the New York Times is not alone, because we find a similar phenomenon with Noam Chomsky, for example, or I dare say even Amy Goodman, which is acutely disappointing. It's gotten so now I can read an article, say, I mean, the New York Times must have at least 4 editors who work for the CIA. I can read an article and tell now if this is a CIA slant, because it's so dominant now. The New York Times, for God's sake, should have been taking the lead in exposing the atrocities of 9/11. It only happened a few blocks away from their headquarters. But they haven't done it all. Instead, they participated in covering it up. And they were similar with JFK.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.